皆さんこんにちは、アリーです。Hi everyone, my name is Ali. Welcome back to my channel. So you guys know I've been sharing a lot about how I study Japanese in particular and languages in general, what methods I use, what tools do I use, which study resources are my favorites, how I organize my studying, how I set my goals, etc. But I haven't shared that much about how I actually do it. Like, what's my study routine? How do I get over procrastination? How do I reduce resistance and actually get myself to study so regularly? So that will be the subject of today's video, and I'll share with you guys how I actually get myself ready to study. You'll see it is an extremely simple and yet very effective routine. I'll explain each step of the way to you and also the reasoning behind it. Just a quick note before we start to say that every single thing I'll mention in this video will actually be linked in the description box, so check it out if you're interested. Right, so we obviously start with step 1, setting the mood. So the cozier I feel, the better. I always put on some background music on Spotify or YouTube. Ambient music is my absolute favorite at the moment. It instantly puts me in focus mode. There are no lyrics and I find it's perfect for studying. Moving on to step 2, getting my favorite drink. I usually go for a hot drink because I like cozy vibes, and to me a hot drink screams coziness. And then moving on to step 3, which is preparing my desk or table or basically my study space, whatever it is and wherever I am. This also works at cafes or libraries when I go there to study. I can essentially transport my desk anywhere I go as long as I have my most important elements with me. Starting with my phone stand from the brand Lamical. I got it on Amazon Japan here because I use some apps on my phone when I study, so I use a stand to prevent getting tired in the neck and taking my phone in hand. Having it on the stand prevents me to get onto other apps if I'm not careful and then get distracted, so I'll leave my phone on the stand and I don't take it in my hand. Then I usually take my iPad out, except if I'm studying out and my bag was already too heavy to bring my iPad with me, I usually bring it with me. In which case, if I don't have it with me, I'll just replace it with my phone actually. I will also take out the resources I'm going to be studying with during that particular session. It's important that I don't take out all of my resources. For one particular week I may have 3 different study resources, but for one single study session I will not bring all 3 with me. I'll bring maximum 2 with me. I only take the ones I want to study that day and which I can realistically go over within one single session. If I have over 2 different resources with me, I just get overwhelmed, so I just don't do it. The important thing here is to do that even when you're at home, taking your resources with you, so that let's say you're finished studying with one resource, the first one, you don't need to get up and get the next one. Getting up and getting your next resource will actually distract you, so to prevent it, just take everything beside you so that it's readily available and you don't need to get up to get it. Moving on to probably the most important step of my routine, which is checking my study goals. And that involves taking my study planner and checking the study goals I set myself for the week. You can check out my whole process in this vlog right here regarding how I actually go about setting my study goals for a particular week and how I go about implementing the study goals list in practice. And so before each study session, I will usually check where I'm at within that list, and I'll tick what I have already completed during the last study session. I'll check what is left to be done, and here you can see me opening my Notion and check how many essays I've read from my essay collection Besto Essay 2023年. I created a full table over on my Notion for this book to keep an eye on how many essays I've read, when I've read them, and also my review on my favorite ones, etc. I then do the exact same thing with my vocab book, checking how far I've gone last time. Page 124, so I tick the corresponding boxes on my study planner, and now moving on to step 5. Starting a timer. That's usually what I need my iPad for. I don't put a timer every single time I study. It depends on what I'm studying and whether I need an extra push to stay focused or not. Putting a short timer for 15 or 25 minutes really helps me tell myself, okay, it's not that long, and for the next few minutes you can't do anything else than studying. Come on, you can do it. This greatly helps reduce resistance for me to start my tasks, and this is not only for studying studying, in fact, I use Pomodoro timers whenever I have trouble focusing on a particular task. For studying, I use the Focus To Do app. It's very handy because you can create projects inside it, also tags that allow you to track how much you study of one particular thing per day, week, month, year. You can actually extract reports from it, which I really like. I have a project set per type of studying I do, so for example listening practice, reading practice, vocab study, etc. for Japanese. And here I clicked on my vocab study project. And within that project, I have a specific subtask created for the vocab book I'm currently using. Moving on to an optional step here, which is getting comfy. So this is not required, and I know that some people actually don't like getting too comfy when they want to study because it can lead to them getting sleepy, which I completely understand. But for me, the more comfy I feel, the more I can focus. If I feel too cold or too hot especially, I can't focus at all. Same thing if I'm hungry, etc. So I stay cozy. And finally, moving on to our final step. Step 6, which is finally studying. That's right, we're already there. I've already covered everything I do before entering focus mode for a particular study session. You see, it's very quick and I repeat this same cycle every single time I study. Keep in mind though that this is my ideal routine and there are times I don't do it and I miss a step or two and I really feel it, let me tell you, because I can't focus as well. I get more easily distracted and I lose time going over what I'm studying like twice or more times, which brings me to one of the final points I wanted to bring up to you guys. First point, about using my phone and distractions during a study session. You can see that while I'm studying, I am also looking up vocab words on my phone. I use the dictionary app Yume. I recommend it heartily to you, in fact. I've always talked about this app, it's amazing for Japanese. But apart from my Yume app, I am careful to not open any other app. If this is a time when my friends and family tend to send me messages, I'll put my phone on Do Not Disturb mode. And in any case, I receive no other notifications from apps because I remove all notifications from the apps I download. So I'm being very careful to not let my phone distract me, despite the fact that I usually use it to look up vocab words. Second point that I wanted to make is about the importance of planning your studying in advance. So the crucial thing about my method and the main reason why I am able to basically beat procrastination and resistance is that I plan my studying in advance. That is the study goals list you saw in my study planner earlier in this video. I write up this list of goals for the week every Sunday evening or Monday morning, and I write goals per study resource I'm currently using, which I usually keep under 4. Planning your studying in advance is no easy task, don't get me wrong. It requires a lot of trial and error to understand how much you're likely to study per week, less any unforeseen events, and it takes a lot of brain juice when you do it. But it is time taken at the get-go that will be rewarding during your week, and overall, which will help you get your studying to the next level. So I hope this inspires you to do it as well. The sooner you start, the sooner you figure out what works for you and how much studying you're likely to do per week, or any other period of time which suits you. And on that note, guys, that's the end of today's video. It was a quick one. I hope it was insightful and that it gave you some ideas for your own study sessions. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments. Also, if you have any other type of routine to get into focus mode for studying, please tell us in the comments as well. And I will see you in my next video. Bye bye! Mata ne!